Today we'll be taking a look at Voyager GS 18.04, so let's dive right in. Okay, so as you can see right now, this says gaming here, and so I took a look at the website, and I remember trying out Voyager in the past, and so I decided to check it out again to make a video on it. And so I saw this gaming edition or whatever it is, and as we go right in taking a look at the applications installed and whatnot, you'll see that it's definitely geared for gamers. And is it for you? Well, we'll find out. So right off the bat, taking a look at the desktop, so we have a nice panel here at the top, and honestly the way the icons are sorted up and the way they look, especially this little search bar here, little search icon, definitely reminds me of the Mac panel, the way it looks at the top, except this is the dark version. And we also have, I'm assuming that this is what was it called, Plank? Let's see. Yeah, yep, this is Plank. So we have the Plank dock right here at the bottom. This is a pretty nice wallpaper, and I also think that this is based on Ubuntu, so that's probably why it was inspired to have the wallpaper like color scheme kind of match the one of Ubuntu. But also, even though I see that inspiration, I also see Manjaro inspiration in the logo itself. I can't really zoom in, but there we go. So honestly, just looking at it, it does seem very inspired by the Manjaro logo. But as a whole, it looks pretty nice. And over here to the right and to the left, we have two separate panels. So yes, these are actually panels that act as kind of like widgets on the desktop. So I'm not really sure what each one does. Okay, so I think I accidentally exited out of that panel, so let's see if I can maybe recover it. Panel 2. Back up and restore maybe. Oh, I think it showed up. Let's there we go. Okay, so here we have wine, box, wine tricks, wine, Steam, and infos. Okay, so even though I removed it, that's fine. We still got to see what it is. So apparently here to the right are your kind of like launchers for like games and whatnot. So you can access them here. And again, I mean, if you don't want these panels, you can just remove them, because they do kind of, the more panels you have, the slower your desktop becomes. Here to the right we have airplane mode, touchpad on or off. I guess that could be useful, you know, if you're on a laptop and you just want to plug in an external mouse. This, I think this is private browsing. It opens up a browser. I don't know what that is. I don't want to end up hiding it again. So you have some, let's check this one out. You have some icons here, kind of like I said, kind of like widgets. Okay, so this opens up the browser as well, and I'm assuming that this is like a specific start page for Voyager, which is pretty nice. Oops. Okay. So that's just opens up the web browser. Okay. So like I said, if you do want these panels to be removed, however, what you can do is go to panel preferences, and then panel 2, you just click the minus here and just remove. So, you know, if you're like on older hardware and you just kind of want to speed up your experience, you can easily do that. Or even if you're on newer hardware and you just don't like it, you can do that too. So like in all my videos, I tend to not install the actual system, But for those of you who want to check out the installer, here it is. So you can choose your language. And then, okay, so this is for the keyboard layout. And of course, you can, okay, so I can't install this because I gave my virtual machine only 8 gigabytes of memory. But you can check that out yourself. Here at the top, we have, let's see what this is. Okay, so a drop-down terminal. That's pretty nice. I think that's pretty convenient, along with the search bar. So let's see, files, or there we go. You can open up your file manager or like specific folder, which is pretty nice. Notes. This is actually pretty nice if you like, you know, to keep track. So like, go to store or whatever. I don't even know. So, you know, you can take notes on the desktop. That's pretty nice. This is your what's it called? I think it's Thunderbird. There we go. So Thunderbird, I usually don't use that. So, you know, and again, same thing with how for the desktop itself, for the panel, if you just don't like an item, you could just simply remove it, and there you go. Like for example, I don't use like an application for like logging into my mail. I just do that straight from the browser. So I personally wouldn't need it, but you have that too. And then network, power, sound, you know. The only thing that in my opinion looks out of place is the clock. But if you want to adjust that as well, you can do that. The one thing I think, and you also have different options of the way you want it to look. The thing is that just looking at it, like you see that everything kind of looks bold, where like everything, the icons look thicker, and you just see how thin the font is. But I'm pretty sure you can change that by going to add new item, and then let's see, clock, I think, or let's see which one it was. It was one of the two, and then you could just change it. Okay, so it's this one. So if you want, you can adjust the width, the height, the color even. And then you can also make it bold if you want. See, now in my opinion, this would fit more than the original clock. That definitely looks more in sync with the rest of the panel items. So of course you can do that. That's just optional, but yeah. So yeah, so you have your keyboard layout here, which you can also, if you don't want to see the image, you could just display it as text, or system if you want. And then you have your options to log out, shut down, and all that type of stuff. Let's take a look at what kind of backgrounds they have. Okay, so judging by it, there are definitely a lot of backgrounds. Oh, and one thing to mention for the installer is it says Ubuntu, so that's how you know that this is based off of Ubuntu. But I do think that they should do kind of a better job with you know, their product, kind of trying to remove traces of Ubuntu, and like they could have easily renamed this to Voyager, but that's not really a big issue, honestly. So they have, as you can see, a wide variety of wallpapers, which is pretty nice. But yeah, I'll just scroll through right here. I won't be clicking all of them because that's just going to take up too much time. But if you like switching up your wallpapers, or you know, if you just want to be able to access a lot of wallpapers, then this is pretty neat. I'll just go with this one. I think this one looks pretty nice. Alright, so if you take a look at this right here, you can switch your workspaces, which is pretty nice. If we take a look at the panel, let's see, what is this? Okay, so this is a show desktop. I don't know what to call it. But yeah, so it's the show desktop. You can access your trash here. It's using the default software manager which Ubuntu uses. Quick access to your settings, which if you want to access them, you can also access them from the panel from here, which we'll be taking a look at in a little bit. This is pretty neat. So I think it's called SMTube. So basically what this is it's just YouTube, but you can just watch your videos, and when you click on a video, it opens up in VLC or whatever default video player you have. Here is Steam. This is great for gamers again. I don't know what this is. Oh, this looks like this show desktop. Okay, so that hides the panel. Okay, so I think that's the panel settings. This is, you also have Twitch, which is pretty nice. You could just watch different streams and whatnot. I don't think you can log in if you have an account. I don't think that works, but it's pretty nice, you know. So if you like watching Twitch and YouTube, you could just, instead of opening up a browser, you could just watch them from here. Then we have Gedit, I think, Gedit. Oh, this mousepad. It looked like Gedit. So this is your default text editor, and then we have the terminal, which I think this has a pretty nice scheme going on. It might be a little bit too transparent, but you can easily adjust that through the preferences options. And then we have the file manager, which looks pretty neat. Honestly, I like this color scheme. It does remind me of Ubuntu. And then we have Firefox as the default web browser. So for accessories, we have some pretty, what's it called? Like default type of accessories. We have LibreOffice, Math, and along with the other ones. So for games, you have a bunch of just kind of simple games installed, but the main ones that you want to take a look at are Steam and then Lutris, or Lutris, I don't know how you pronounce it. So with this, you can install and run games. I think it's kind of like Wine. I never used it myself, but it's something like that. For graphics, you have, for photo editing, you have GIMP and then Shotwell. Internet, again, you have just one web browser and the mail icon that was here, which is Thunderbird Mail. And then you have Steam again. For multimedia, for your music player, you have Clementine, which I think is a really good music player. Yeah, this media player, which I think, yeah, this is for videos. I assume it works for music as well. Pulse audio to adjust your volume and whatnot. Pulse effects. VLC, I think, is the best media player as well. So VLC and Clementine are a really good combination. And yeah, and then you have the Office suite. And then you have a bunch of settings here. So, and then system stuff. Okay, so in terms of the applications installed, well, when it comes to gaming, of course, Steam is a must, especially on Linux. And then Lutris is pretty nice. I've heard good things about it, as well as Wine. Wine definitely helps you in terms of running Windows games that aren't native to Linux. So those three are good combination, most of what you would need. And then there are also, for certain games, like there's emulators that you can download, but you know, not to bloat the system. I think it's a good decision not to add them. It's just a good decision in general not to add emulators on a distro. So you could easily, of course, install them yourself separately. So I think it's pretty nice pairing the 3 applications along with viewing, you know, YouTube and Twitch. I think it's a good combination. So finally, in terms of appearance, you have a bunch of I think these are just general settings, but specific to this, we have the blue version. And then if you, I guess, want more of a Mac look, you can make it kind of grayish here, whitish. You can make the panel. Also, keep in mind the color of your menu probably changes as well, depending on the settings. There we go. But I mean, pretty much you have an orange and a blue theme, either with a white panel or a dark panel. And I would say, yeah, I would say the most unique theme is this one, because it gives you like a purplish or pinkish type panel color. And then for, let's see, where was it? Window manager, there we go. So here are the given, yep, definitely if you want like kind of like a Mac look, as you can see. And you can also place the buttons to the left side if you like that. That's pretty cool with XFC, how you can do that. It gives you a lot of good settings. So these are pretty much the main title bar themes. I'll just go with this one for now. Let's go back. And then for mouse themes, let's see. So you have, so these are the basic ones. I don't know, they're not really changing on my screen, probably because I'm on a virtual machine. But these are the cursor themes as well. So I mean, I'm not really going to be going into theming much in this video because, you know, there's no point. Probably going to make a separate video on theming XFC. But overall, I would say it's pretty nice. You know, I mean, based off Ubuntu, I think that on its own makes it decently stable. I know the whole 18.04 thing, you know, causes some stability issues. Like, a lot of people say that they shouldn't have released it, that they should have kind of developed it more before they released it, and that I think that 16.04 is more stable for now. But I personally haven't had issues with the latest Ubuntu version, but I don't know. Also features XFCE. I think that on its own offers great stability, lots of speed, fast weight, or yeah, like lightweight, very fast, as you can see. So that's good on its own. In terms of customization, again, XFCE is highly customizable. In terms of wallpapers, if you're a wallpaper enthusiast, you know, you have a bunch of wallpapers here. And in terms of the gaming aspect, so is this worth it for people who like gaming? You know, I guess, you know, I'd say yeah, because, you know, you have Steam installed right away. You don't have to go through the hassle of installing it and, you know, going through that. When it comes to Wine, you know, like, not everyone likes running Wine. Some people like to stray away from Windows as much as possible, but I'm sure that gamers would be willing to use Wine along with Lutris. And yeah, again, in terms of emulators, you could just easily install one yourself. And then these two are pretty nice, you know, having YouTube and Twitch, to just be able to view them separately, I think is pretty nice, instead of having to go through your browser. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, you know. Yeah, I definitely recommend this distro. I definitely recommend you check it out. And that's pretty much it for this video. So thanks for watching and have a good one.